A story that has long haunted the highest echelons of power is back in the headlines with a startling new claim. Florida Attorney General and staunch Trump ally Pam Bondi has alleged the existence of tens of thousands of new, unseen videos related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, videos she claims are now in the hands of the FBI. This bombshell assertion has reignited a firestorm of speculation and public demand for transparency. The Epstein saga, with its dark undertones of wealth, power, and corruption, has once again captured the nation's attention, leaving many to wonder if the full truth is finally within reach. But how credible are these new claims? Let's rewind to early 2025. There was a palpable sense of anticipation for a significant release of Epstein-related documents. Pam Bondi herself had fueled this, suggesting on national television that a so-called client list was forthcoming. The promised document dump in February, however, was seen by many as a disappointment, a collection of previously known information that fell far short of a bombshell. The February release included binders of declassified information distributed to conservative influencers, but it lacked the explosive revelations many had hoped for. The absence of a concrete client list led to frustration and accusations that the administration had overpromised and underdelivered, leaving the core mysteries of the Epstein network untouched. It is against this backdrop of unmet expectations that Pam Bondi's new claims have emerged. The first mention of these supposed tens of thousands of videos came in April, not in an official press conference, but in a secretly recorded video by a conservative activist. In the recording, a relaxed Bondi is heard making the extraordinary claim about the sheer volume of new evidence. Then in May, the claim was repeated, this time in a more official setting. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Bondi reiterated that the FBI was in the process of reviewing tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. This public statement from a high-ranking official gave the claim a new level of seriousness and sent the media into a frenzy. Bondi's statement was specific and alarming. She spoke of the meticulous process the FBI was undertaking, implying that the sheer volume of disturbing material was the reason for the delay in its release. This narrative seemed to offer both a promise of future revelations and an explanation for past disappointments. The implications of such a vast archive of video evidence are, of course, staggering. If true, it could potentially expose a wide network of powerful individuals involved in Epstein's crimes. For years, the specter of blackmail and hidden tapes has been a central element of the Epstein conspiracy theories, and Bondi's words seemed to validate those long-held suspicions. However, as journalists began to dig deeper, the foundation of this bombshell claim started to appear less solid. The Associated Press conducted its own investigation, reaching out to lawyers and law enforcement officials who had been directly involved in the various Epstein-related cases. Their findings were revealing. According to the AP report, none of the legal or law enforcement sources they spoke to could corroborate the existence of such a massive video trove. These are individuals who would presumably have been aware of such critical evidence during the initial investigations and prosecutions. Their lack of knowledge raises serious questions about the origin of Bondi's information. Further complicating the narrative is a recent interview with FBI Director Kash Patel. On a popular podcast, Patel, who has been central to the agency's public communications, appeared to pour cold water on the idea of a hidden stash of incriminating videos. His comments stand in stark contrast to the claims made by the Florida Attorney General. When asked about the possibility of videos showing powerful people committing crimes on Epstein's island, Patel's response was skeptical. He suggested that if such evidence existed, it would have likely come to light by now. He did not at any point mention the tens of thousands of videos that Bondi had so confidently described. This direct contradiction from a top FBI official is perhaps the most significant challenge to Bondi's claim. It creates a confusing and conflicting picture for the public. Who is one to believe? An attorney general promising a deluge of evidence, or the FBI director who seems to be managing expectations downwards? So, where does this leave us? On one hand, we have a politically motivated official making a sensational claim that resonates with a public eager for accountability. On the other, we have a lack of official confirmation and a direct contradiction from within the law enforcement community. The situation is murky, to say the least. It's impossible to discuss this story without acknowledging the political context. Pam Bondi is a close ally of Donald Trump, and her statements come at a time of intense political polarization. The promise of an Epstein bombshell has been a recurring theme in some political circles, often used to suggest a deep state cover-up that only the Trump administration can expose. Critics have suggested that Bondi's claims could be a calculated move to energize a political base that was left disappointed by the previous document release. The idea of a forthcoming truth bomb can be a powerful political tool, regardless of whether the bomb ever actually detonates. It keeps the story alive and keeps the opposition on the defensive. The timing of these claims in an election year is also significant. The Epstein case has, at various times, been linked to powerful figures across the political spectrum, including both Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. Any new revelations could have unpredictable political consequences, making the control of the narrative a high-stakes game. Let's be clear, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his network deserve the complete and unvarnished truth. For them, this is not a political game. It is a quest for justice that has been long and arduous. The prospect of new evidence is both a source of hope and a potential source of further pain if it turns out to be another false dawn. The FBI has, so far, remained officially silent on the matter, refusing to comment on Bondi's specific claims. This silence is, in itself, telling. In high-profile cases like this, law enforcement agencies are typically very careful with their public statements, and the lack of a clear confirmation or denial only adds to the uncertainty. What we are witnessing is a classic case of a story operating on two different levels. There is the journalistic pursuit of facts, which so far has yielded more questions than answers. And then there is the political narrative, which is often less concerned with verifiable truth and more focused on shaping public perception. The tens of thousands of videos may indeed exist, locked away in an FBI evidence vault, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Or they could be a phantom, a talking point born out of political necessity. The truth, as is often the case in the Epstein saga, remains frustratingly elusive. As responsible consumers of news, it is crucial to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. It is important to ask critical questions. What is the source of this information? Is it being corroborated by other credible sources? And what might be the motivations of the person making the claim? The story of Jeffrey Epstein is a grim reminder of how power and wealth can be used to corrupt and conceal. It is a story that has exposed deep-seated institutional failures and has left a trail of shattered lives. The search for truth must continue, but it must be guided by facts, not by speculation or political agendas. Until the FBI provides a clear and unambiguous statement, or until concrete evidence of these videos is presented, Pam Bondi's bombshell claim will remain just that, a claim, an explosive and headline-grabbing claim to be sure, but one that is, for now, hanging in the realm of the unverified. The public, and more importantly, the victims, are left waiting once again for a resolution that seems to be perpetually just over the horizon. The coming weeks and months will be critical in determining whether this is a genuine turning point in the Epstein case or another chapter in a long and frustrating saga of political theater. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the facts as they emerge.